Hello, this is my video for my creation of school-wide literacy plan. Hello. This is not a comprehensive school-wide literacy plan, but it is the plan for my school to get up and started because we do not have a school-wide literacy plan currently. Now I'm going to kind of talk about this presentation as if I was presenting it to teachers and kind of come from that perspective. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so as you may know, our wonderful school, Lake Carolina Upper Campus, annually scores at the top of our district with ELA scores. And there are 20 elementary schools, and then we have the three centers, the Center for Inquiry, the Center for Achievement, and the Center for Knowledge. And the Center for Knowledge has 2 campuses at this point. So amongst all of those amazing schools, we typically score at the top. We have maintained this even when our school was opened and we had a very small population in a very prominent, nice neighborhood that we pulled from, and that's about it. Our demographics have changed, and our population of our school has diversified immensely, and we've increased a large population of poverty at our school, but we still remain the top of the district. All right, when we compare our school with the district percentiles with our SC Ready ELA scores, as you can see, at the 3rd grade level, 42.3% are at the meets or exceeds expectations, 41.4% in 4th grade, and 36% of our district 5th graders score meets or exceeds expectations. We all know that meets expectations is what we are striving for. That's like the kind of the bare minimum. So we're trying to make sure all students get to that point. So let's focus on that again. So we're at 42 for 3rd grade, 41 for 4th, and 36%, which seems quite low for 5th grade. And then if we go to our amazing school, if you compare the same category at meets or exceeds expectations, we have 61% for 3rd, 59.6% for 4th, and 50.3% for 5th. So I think it was 36% for the district and 50% for 5th grade at our amazing school. And so that's a lot to be proud of. And you might be thinking this is a celebration for all our hard work, but that's really not why we're here. I think that we have it pretty easy here at the lake, and we tend to kind of rest on our laurels when it comes to our test scores, our state testing scores, and we should be proud, but you can kind of make data tell you what you want it to. And if you look at that small red font there on that slide, it says there is room for growth. And so we're not just going to look at the fact that we are the highest in our district. We're going to look at what we are not. So we have 72.4% of students that are not living in poverty meet expectations on SC Ready. 72.4%. Now let's compare them with their counterparts that do live in poverty. And they're all the way down at 44.3%. And that's just looking at one subgroup. If we look at race, there's also a huge disparity with the African American population at the lake. And we can't leave these students behind. Yes, we can be proud of our accomplishments, but it's more than that. Okay, so we want to make sure every single student is reaching their potential, and we are getting them to their potential. And I'm coming to you from the viewpoint of I was one of those students. So I could not read leaving the 1st grade and kind of slid through the cracks until it was time for retention. And there was a parent-teacher conference where my mom was called in, and they let my mom know that I was going to be retained because I could not read leaving the 1st grade. My mom was shocked. Being the baby of 4 children, I literally just kind of slid through the cracks. I was always a very independent, confident, kind of street smart kid that could have great conversations with adults, but I couldn't read. So my mom was embarrassed, and with tutoring and lots of emergency help at home at that point after the embarrassment, I got caught up to grade level, and I was very proud when I did. But I am one of those kids that was in your class that was compliant, that really didn't misbehave, but couldn't read a lick. So there we go. This is what the research says. A critical piece of setting up a school-wide model is using multiple learning approaches that include knowing how and when to target students' different needs through both instruction and remediation. And I see I have a couple typos I need to fix in there. And the other quote that I have in there is, without intensive, targeted, and long-term interventions, students' major skill deficits cannot be successfully erased. And so we're not looking to move the entire school as much with what we're going to go over today, but more subpopulations and individuals that we kind of target. And one of the initiatives will be school-wide. Our goal out of all of this is to start with a handful of literacy initiatives. For us to implement a comprehensive school-wide literacy plan could be overwhelming, and we're not here to overwhelm you. We know you have a lot on your plate, and us in the world of education wear a lot of hats currently, and so we're not here to overwhelm you. What we are here to do is help the students that need some help and maybe need that spark or that light for reading to gain it. And so that's one of our goals here. And we really want chatter around the school to be about books and what they just read and stories and things like that, to really make it a part of our culture. We're also looking, one of our goals is also to find a dedicated group of educators who are willing to go above and beyond to increase the literacy of our school. So if that's you and you're passionate about bringing the joy of reading to our students, then we would love for you to be a part of our school-wide literacy team. We need you, we want you, and we're excited to have you. And so there's going to be a survey later in this presentation, and we would love for you to fill it out and add your name in as a person to help us with this very important goal of ours. Lastly, we're going to implement this literacy program over the next year, and we're going to evaluate it. We're going to look at our test scores and see if they move in the correct direction. And then, year by year, if we can just implement more and more until we really do have a school-wide comprehensive literacy plan, because that's really what we need. And even though our test scores are at the top of the district, we really should have already been doing this. So we're not trying to overwhelm anyone here, but we are trying to get this going, and we're going to try to do a really good job, thorough, and we're gonna check on it. We're gonna check in and do assessments and look at our scores and do some benchmarking and see where we're at. The plan. So the biggest thing that is actually going to affect everyone in our whole school, including our master schedule, is going to be our school-wide read aloud. And that is going to happen with fidelity. And when I say fidelity, that means every day, every teacher. That's all of you out there. From 2:10 till 2:30, which is when dismissal starts at 2:30, we are going to do a school-wide read aloud. And how that's going to look is each grade level is going to have the same book. So third grade is going to have a book that they all read. Fourth grade is going to have a book they all read. Fifth grade is going to have a book they all read. And then we'll shuffle those around after the whole grade level has finished their book. The third grade's book will go to fourth grade to fifth grade to third grade, and we'll circulate them accordingly. These read alouds are integral. If you ask adults, a lot of their memories from school and home in reading, a lot of them talk about read alouds. So this is when we say fidelity, that means you didn't finish up your math activity in the morning and you're going to finish it instead of read aloud today. No, this is an expectation, and so if anybody has any concerns or anything in the survey later, you could feel free to let us know your thoughts, and we would love to hear those. The next thing is before school reading intervention program or tutoring. This will happen after the buses have dropped off, because we want all students to be eligible for this. And we are going to target some students for this. So we have already identified the students that will be sending invitations for this, and hopefully they will take us up on that. And so it is going to be actually during the school day, even though it says before school, so it's going to be after buses arrive. Next is Brown Bags and Books, which is going to be a fun book club. And we're actually going to send invitations to students that are a little behind grade level, but right on the cusp of getting to meet expectations. And this is really meant to create some joy in their reading. And Ms. Medlock, the media specialist, is going to pick a book. They're going to read it, and then they'll go at lunch on Wednesdays, and they'll talk about a chapter they read, and they'll discuss it, and they'll do some predicting and some comprehension stuff, and should be very fun. Next is the Readers Challenge Comprehension Competition Group, and this is actually we're gonna let some of our high flyers get involved and have a good time with this as well. And this is going to be for children that really already like to read, and we're going to challenge them to read a certain number of books, and then they'll be asked kind of trivia questions about the books, and with their comprehension try to answer them. And lastly, the one you're all excited about is we're going to have ongoing professional development for the teachers who don't teach ELA. And the reason for this is we want them to really incorporate content-specific reading. So for me in physical education, that would mean informational text. It doesn't have to be, but that's one that really jives seamlessly with physical education. And so that's roughly our plan. So it's a handful of initiatives, and hopefully nothing too overwhelming, but really some fun and exciting initiatives to get the kids going and hopefully you going. And we do have some ideas for the future after this first year, but we're going to get feedback from you guys and really see how this first kind of stage one goes. Lastly, there's a survey here for you to complete, and if you will take the time, it's a 5-question survey, and we really would love to have your feedback on what you think about what you've heard today, and we want your honest opinion. And there's no, this is brutally honest feedback because this is new, this is important, so we really want to know how you feel. So it's a Google form for you to fill out. The first question says, of the 5 initiatives, which are you most excited for? And that's multiple choice. Next is, do you see a need for this to happen? And that's a short answer question. So please be honest there, yes or no. You might say, well, our state test scores are top in the district. We don't need this. It's a waste of our time. And that is someone's opinion, and that is fine. If you'd like to join the school literacy team to help plan the literacy plan, please add your name below. So please, if you would like to join our team, we would love to have you. Is there something you would like to see added? So any suggestions, something you think like we've missed the ball on, and from your perspective, from your classroom or your content, what is it that we've missed? And please be brutally honest here, because this is brand new for us and there's still time for us to make changes. So please give us your honest feedback. And then lastly, please list any suggestions for a school-wide read aloud time. And I should have added there in that question, books. So like what books do we want to choose? Do you want us to choose Charlotte's Web? Do you want us to choose The K? Do you want us to choose, who knows? Whatever a book is that you have a suggestion for, what is it? And then we're going to use the Department of Defense grant to fund this. And so if we need to bring in some experts or some PD training for all of us, we're going to do that. There's also going to be some PD for those that are going to lead the tutoring, and we're really excited about that. Okay, so please fill out the survey before you exit today. It has been emailed to you, and everybody have a wonderful day.